and Sanson from Brian Super Duper Television, yeah, na PH1 Television. Embrason say at Nasa Nadi and Samoa, Equaso, our mind concron Ghana, so at the about someone. And then after second May 2025 is the day of our Lord. There are the persons so uncle and Fema Utradi upon Yanko Yardom. And then we so now to meet no at the community. Let us embrace say yet not nature in some to try to say El Paso, our mind concron Ghana, dear. Let us about what in some your purpose as worship. Try to yet to say, dear Muson of when you ask them, get to what some and yet the ever soon they are so upon train so at the Amoa. My penny John, Germany Mohammed, and so a made young so could peer more away young train so in some minutes so. Every to Jeff ECG, women's and some Bawati and some Elkasabon.
Don Kumano wonder band with Daniel one brush of Buffie, Honorable Alexander Fenner Markin, and they or then send the abbot to go after 7 judges. Now, you know, my pain is excellence to John Romani Mahama way, you know, and who knew which you get Baba Abesso. And should I know what was some from no Alexander for your marking so answered in some back me now with trouble. It's some other trouble now for the same sense somebody but tell me some one of them. The Maron so enna Assemblies of God superintendent and all and they or then send the abbot to God said they done a day in an maybe and trend up ban over my bay and could you maybe a 1 year nay a crow and 9 year name man tell me your woman son you to man one and your own say a young fair when be named to no another one. And should I sell for fracas somewhere more and I just say up one where was on PH1 hot news authentic where it's not the other say a drop their anchor shots from Saputia with some so and I will welcome the night what the go someone did so much now and up if you're there if you are super miss to which media so also Uber Facebook no up YouTube and so not as well for join your live Uber channel Francois at the airport has say so and I'll document so as to that making cancel at Jamo screen so as so when we send number be said also to the text message so at the Apostle at Jamo the 0500 137 465 0500 137 465. They are first the person for me to Generational Believers Worship Center GBWC. Area in Bria about sorry narrow dom na wa bompe. Nedia to chong kakra. If you are dear you soon. Or what do you to madam pie boy and tango one with and pie boy. Then will be able to know what we use the ammo. The meeting America for Bishop Isaac will sell out on walk on go. I can't see a better walk masters the ammo. There, Edward de Biaram, a emergency counseling. Emma sofo ahemfo enen krofobia etitufobia wonu winya te dowo erehweme ebibiri the man so ene bena de biara main counseling oye free as biara ho wan cassette na wellness so abraboma e woda de menu amakra na ebie nyo nkoye mawa ebe tana one no komu Bishop Isaac so e wo kono ngwa krente be so no wo kumase the man so ene ya woda no empaibo enoje man shade kwan no woro wo kumase bibi nto Twinnika na kwaje empaibo na nyankopɔ ne nkyɛw da ma nso ene consider no service was start no moche wo 12 then na wa mo no moto e bo to my friend Bishop e was 024487 3425 and 0242636773 e bo to mo say Isaac Bishop Isaac e wo Facebook.
Okay, then I can count for me no I just PH1 hot news no so at the hours just find so Aisha Esel any blaming
Mammy Abena myself
and one yet away so now you chair one so I'll be a peck of support and which you made was some state too.
Admission. We are JHS and I say SHS graduates. Nasi wenye jinsem chosuku pa ho dia. Enye freni chemu ewo PH1 Media Training Institute. Omo eya courses be to say TV and radio presentation, camera handling, 2D and 3D animation, graphic designing, marketing, MCR, and ɛna afei sound engineering ɔmo wɔ akyerɛkyerɛ fo ɔmo de ɔdɔ ɛne abotire ɛkyerɛ adeɛ na ɔmo wɔ hostel facilities ne sɛnti no wofi akyirikyiri anaasɛ bɛnkyɛyɛ kora wobɛtumi aba abɛtɔ wo forms na ɔmo lecture time ɛyɛ weekdays ɛna weekend days na attachments nso deɛ ɛyɛ rest assured ɔmo ma special packages for first 50 students ɛbɛ enroll wɔ school mu hɔ wobɛtumi ehu ɔmo kyerɛ kwan ɛwɔ Agona Suedo Liberty Junction anaasɛ wobɛtumi afrɔm ahomatrofo yi so 054 025 2582 anaasɛ 055 929 9482 PH-1 Media Training Institute say where talent never dies.
Mechechi amo Ghana adehyimaima. Yefrɛ me agudie. Ene yi so hu mo kasafoyini so a na ye mmebu no enti na me wa ha. Esan sɛ wɔn ne yɛn daakye. Enti ɛho hia bebre sɛ yɛma yɛn ni ɛkɔ wɔn nteteɛ ɛne
adesuna ya sanso abebion so dia na as the patient so enko enfemo aha PH1 TV PH1 hot news no and you go so atase yade esom e wasomdwo kwan so as the patient confirm so ye twen ba ye no fidi kase no e that's why they say na wo hwe PH1 hot news dia na yamfa aya kasabwa no emu entwe mu so enfren so e wasomdwo kwan so mabani John Dramani Muhammad no ada na tase okopiom e wa Black Star ya square okopiom ho ne dia na tase ye media ya ho sensemia and it just so opium according some of me no go travel content nese wa go travel content no din kan sha bo ganagement fo ina ba so o se o trust ganagement fo ina se who know where penny be a year man se no so wa bo na se minute me SP na esita sa so and o share bo se what is fo ina mo da mo de san so ne me group ba ko mo se na be ya wa bo na so on se mo so mo ya so on se tumi so ya sa so and o ka sa ya so and fa isi din sense ma ko me so ko fa ka se and a Ghana any isi na se for ya to man kwa for na se for ma bere John Dramani ha se Ghana for mo da mo dan ya John over here the ade to say odo Ghana for ya de ka bebre che na so say o wo hwa sa kan no jama kwaku bi de ada bi do say am fa ko bi anu de ECG e do mo we san say ECG de Ghana for that just so man bere John Dramani ha san so just e kan.
These initiatives are not isolated interventions. They are interconnected pillars of a broader vision to build a resilient, inclusive, and future-ready Ghanaian economy. An economy that is not only recovering, but one that will thrive, innovate, and lead us to prosperity. Through increased investment in technical and vocational education, through support for continuous professional development, and through better alignment between education and the labor market, we will equip our people with the tools that they need, not just to survive, but to thrive. This administration is committed to decentralizing opportunity. It should not be the case that the only real chance at prosperity exists if you live in Accra or Kumasi. We will work to bring investment, jobs, and infrastructure to every region of this country, so that every Ghanaian worker, from Wa to Aflao, from Bole to Keta, from Drobo to Enchi, can have a fair and equal shot at building a meaningful life for themselves. Our national reset agenda cannot succeed without labor at the table. These initiatives are not isolated interventions. They are interconnected pillars of a broader vision.
Why are you Ghana man penny na Ghana man penny John Dramani Mahama and one no Sisi Yankwe.
Ewa press conference via NPP amayoku no wahyehyɛ end de ya no ɛna dɔm kuma no wane ba no de wɔ brahye bobofie honorable ato kwame na afenyo marking Alexander ordinance and bibetu ba na ochiremu dem oyaza the me 7 judges no aye no man pay his excellency John Dramani Mahama weji ewo court and asembia e wo be hwe na watoto to nneoma ye wo ho no oyada oka ne third term agenda no ho mo ma ye nkwete ni mu enchichim ento no oya azanya ne.
It's not about our party or parties. It's about protecting the institutional integrity of our republic. It's about drawing a line in defense of the constitution. And it's about telling those in power, you may have your turn, but you do not own the state. The framers of our constitution understood that democracy without an independent judiciary is not democracy at all. That is why we are gathering on Monday, 5th of May, to say enough is enough. To say that the people of Ghana will not sit idly by while their courts are captured. To say that the power may change hands, but the constitution must always stand. And to the people of Ghana, our fellow countrymen and women, we invite you to join us. This is not just about the few political parties determining to go on the streets. Of course, we are going on a peaceful demonstration. This is not Parliament's fight. It is a fight for every citizen who wants to live in a country where the law is supreme and no man, no matter how powerful, is above the law. We say that there must be an end to the division and the anger of the past. This government must tread with the greatest caution, always keeping tomorrow in mind when taking decisions today, because these decisions may shape future governments. If we continue down this path, we risk creating a culture of retaliatory politics, where successive governments are more focused on settling political scores than solving problems. Last but not the least, it is obvious that the bold attempt by Mr. President to nominate out of the blue 7 judges to the Supreme Court is the first major attempt at all that they have rehearsed, a third term agenda. All that the NDC is doing, all that our president is doing through the advice of the horse.
Third term agenda and by way in summer don't come on one about with anyone brasha bogofie or your honorable Alexander to come in and your marking or the two guy.
Okay, I know I will concern with me up on Facebook, that's why YouTube on so do I change that's why. And kind so Eddie, I'm a sassy number so so Edward change that so Eddie, Alpha so Eddie, Amau. And 0501 0501 Young fantasy are born with us a young so FM of Suja. Or Alexander up in your market and a listen about me never power. In some other power, Tina effort to say young says or say in this yard. Move by ye now so more than say by ye and then ye not for me now say. Ye end is for veterans, you know, we get the offer themselves and semester. That's a put your more progress, say Pia. And the personal from player, just so move by ye or say, on one I said to them say I send an answer way. Baby, I went down won't focus from one to the PI. You trust some more Alexander after you might have sounded just a time.
Somewhere 2014, the then Minister of Finance, Honorable Secretary, appeared before Parliament and lamented on the state of the cocoa production in our country. Among the key issues he addressed Parliament on through its finance committee was issue of galamsey. Of course, NPP came into office and made attempts to address this issue. I must admit, we were not successful. The NDC used it as a campaign tool. Today, what we see according to organized labor, this is not from MPP, according to organized labor, the Galamsey situation has worsened. And they have now even institutionalized Galamsey by enacting what they call a gold board. What is the essence of gold board? They claim that the gold board is now going to buy equipment for small scale miners. But you and I know that their intent is not to support any small scale miner.
No way and someone honorable Alexander after your market said they were traveling and said, oh, but what's so bad? Get them so good trust now said then you move for now. Get them say won't be sure way and someone honorable Alexander after your market said they were traveling to for them say and when said someone no El Quadiama, Mampany John Drummond Muhammad and in Crawford. Then now young make up for vision of hope, have a clinic and from ourselves. What I think about Paracha so don't drop one to man and I just say vision of hope. Have a clinic and make up for Jamosen. Jason Tibiano, you didn't let him know ya catch it. You know what Nasin to be an Ocean family at the national. Yen 22 on the Bayan said Jamo. Yadima was to would young Quanicha say in dreams at Oya catch you. So the process cancer and I take you walk. And I saw the stroke and I go out to Pumusoko, sorry, did Jano. Jimmy's now, won't be an answer, would it be at us when a stroke? And I saw, we shouldn't be any stroke, not them Pemudia myself. When you got your vision of Pope back and the cannon transit. Stroke never and said, "Dear Mother, so an attentive one. Would you type of baby and attentive one? So, stomach costs no, Mr. Woodfassy at the amount. That's what people are trying to say. You are promoting a yellow poetry, so one son and so. The gentleman be a shut down, so that penetrate me so as I know point so at the amount. Message machines, so I was trying to small one say, dear Message wouldn't come. And so at the amount, all of us are here for the one vision of 4 per clinical, which I find so well. When I follow Shaman Yajapay, and as what the market some Pentecost school, a corner one vision of 4 per clinic, a child coin, so what did I make now for a pennication? So 054 819 1209 054 819 1209 vision of 4 per clinic, your healing becomes a joy.
Oh yeah, as a chief justice, no more suspension once a Mississippi or walk dancing Muno, and then people man you kuno, what year press conference to be pa. The press conference announcement of what Kayano could see day, or the other 5th May, what by your demonstration, or yet can be pa. Our reason or WA save the judiciary. Let them save the judiciary or yet channel what by your nom, and a MPP national organizer, or yeah, or Henry Nana Boache. Or this same because Bobby Quay, my Ghana Fina, no them. The main press conference now about the message the judiciary or yet some or Bocodrono. And yeah, this on Cote and APP Cote. I'm a parties me now, Bianfan Winjin. The more Baya, what DJ, but to ye, never Darren to now walk. On the next show, no, on the Miafo Henry and Abuache, NPP national organizer, then send it to the Mayan says, okay.
Therefore, reiterate our call for the immediate reinstatement of the Chief Justice and the withdrawal of his unconstitutional action, the future of our republic, the confidence of our people in the judiciary, and the very soul of our democracy depends on this. Let it be known that the New Patriotic Party will fiercely and relentlessly resist any attempt to hijack our judicial system for any political gain. We urge Ghanaians across all divides to speak out and defend our constitution. We urge everyone to be part of this historic demonstration on Monday, 5th May. We must all be part of this effort. There is this sinister motive by Mr. Mahama to pack the judiciary to seek a judicial interpretation of the constitution which will interpret Article 62 so that he intends to go a third term. This
Onomiam for Henry Nana Boache, national NPP national organizer, no some and also to it will also day. Or yes, or Bian for Munchim, Mansha Hansha, for Munchim, no more by your bedroom, Managana, Yedi, is your. Don't call me, oh, don't call me. Don't call me, oh, don't call me. PH-1 a yakwa faba we are strong cry even as the next one. There were the young pobwa, bags, wigs, Ebiana what they Emma so sorry. Baby a race be a rama homo cry. Ya rubber one ya bobo was no with the ramo. Down over ya. Say obi we chichiri mpo bata wonka na wetum no nyi bezugwa na bi bere tum na wa kwa kanze ammo de miti yasa ka kira wonyonko ono so nkan kira no nyonko de PH1 de ye de enwema papa nkote na ye wo o winti na ya hyehyɛ don komi otedam brana babo we adwuma no mu dawul ye nje okesi bibi kiti bi na wansa aka meri hyehyɛ enyina ebeto ma friend e wo 0202381112 misi du bi 0202381112 ebe wo yen wa gona swedro kwansan kro
ya chaka sabana so and from what yana PH1 Hot News no and ye bu so ya de aso be fia for Facebook for the chance for bra make kan so at YouTube so the same so for the chance for bra make kan so at the amount na ya chaka so one so at the amount so the penny ka so the kind of good board I know or else me jam fi so the some million so the bottle of jam ni so what the bottle of na plan ni ayasa choko komo and o chom se what me and Fiamani and Bassa about Tungo dinner so far than has a side and your own dear pentumo. Into no more call a baby to set up garden as a for we are money but now so about Tungo, but now what will be our God for a more catchy and your opinion said what must wait for about so will your company be no one Nagan has a walk and throw a good dinner so far for baby. Double for one of your minds for answer for said that we had the on GM pentum.
Obvious question that flows from this is what then becomes of foreigners who desire to trade in gold in Ghana. That, as I've already explained, is prohibited by the Ghana Gold Board Act. You cannot trade in gold locally, directly, okay? But as we indicated in our press release of 14th April, which we reiterated in another press release on, I believe, the 23rd of April this year, you can apply to the gold board as a foreigner to buy gold from Ghana through the gold board. So foreigners are allowed to be off-takers. So don't get us wrong, we are not saying that foreigners cannot buy gold from Ghana. If you're a foreigner, you are allowed to buy gold from Ghana. But we are saying you can't go to Takwa or Pristia or Kumasi and set up an office and buy gold from miners or traders. No. Come to the government's representative, which is the Ghana Gold Board. Apply, negotiate, and buy the gold directly from us. And we will ship the gold to your country or wherever you want us to ship the gold to. Number two, foreigners can be off-takers or partners for Ghanaians who will be granted self-financing aggregator licenses. Now, if you look at the 4 categories of licenses we've published on our website, which we have said people can apply for, and for, by the way, to apply for any license from the Gold Board, you must be a Ghanaian. Now, to qualify to do that, you need to show that you have a minimum capital to buy at least 50 kg of gold, which in today's terms is approximately CD equivalent of $5 million. And this money you need to prove either through other financial statements of your company and or bank statements. You can do it through that, or you can do it through the bank statement and financial statement of any investor, partner, or off-taker you may have outside the country who is willing to send you money so that you buy gold for them. Safe to say that they cannot send you the money under the current regime directly. They have to send you the money through the gold board. The gold board then converts the money into CDs at the interbank rate and hands over the money, transfers the money to the self-financing aggregator who is a Ghanaian. The self-financing aggregator uses the CDs to procure gold for the gold board and makes his commission on that trade as a Ghanaian locally. Then the gold board exports the gold to the off-taker who sends the money to the Ghanaian self-financing aggregator through the gold board. So that is the arrangement. So far I've explained to you 2 levels or ways by which foreigners can participate in gold trading even under this new Ghana Gold Board regime. And that is number 1, to come directly to the gold board to be off-takers We then negotiate. If there is an agreement, we sign agreements, and then we can ship gold to you, and then you pay us in accordance with the terms of that agreement. Or you can finance a self-financing aggregator, but that financing must go through the gold board, and it is all part of the terms and conditions of the self-financing aggregator license. The last role foreigners can still play in the gold trading sector under the Ghana Gold Board regime is when a foreigner wants to go into value addition. If you're a foreigner and you want to set up a refinery, you can apply to the Gold Board for a license to set up a refinery. If you're a foreigner and you want to set up a jewelry production company, you can apply for a license and will allow you to set up a jewelry manufacturing company. But the conditions of that license will require you at all times to buy gold directly from the Gold Board. So you cannot say that I have a jewelry production company, so I'm going to Takwa to buy gold, or I'm going to Obuasi to buy gold. You will come to Gold Board and say, I have this jewelry manufacturing company or refinery. I need 50 kg of gold every month to feed it. So you apply to the Gold Board, and every month will allocate you that gold at a certain price that you'll be paying. You will have to pay to the Gold Board. Because we know that a lot of foreigners who can no longer trade directly in the local markets will resort to value addition and say we want to go into jewelry production. But our research over the years indicate that most of these so-called jewelry production companies only use that as a ruse to smuggle gold out of the country. So they say they are manufacturing jewelry. Their production capacity is not about 5 kg of gold a month, but you can see records of them buying 50 kg of gold. What do they use the gold for? Not for jewelry. They only use their jewelry making license.
Wait, someone Pelicasia or Jagana Gold Board, I know Rossa Mitchell face so added to the Bonnie Central for the train and commodity.
Galam say I want some seminar and I end a organized labor for so what the one day and is this in Biako was Saban was a Wapa Mahama President Mahama Papa His Excellency was through ye Papa pay organized labor for and I was to say yea. Now Galam say I want some Michelle got mine since you had to watch it into my crack. Now what say? Oh, Waben Pano, watching some cry. It was Rawata. Say, I will be a Jan and Tampa, papa. Now, from one. Only let you know, organized labor wedding, Sebike, you know, their uncle Emma Yenaman Pinot, they will be Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Mama Yen says are working.
I'm saying, Mr. President, we in organized labor are surprised that 5 months into our reign, the Galamsey menace is getting worse. The destruction of our environments, including our forests and water bodies, is increasing with rapidity. Mr. President, we expect you to provide leadership in stopping the menace of Galamsey. We expect your government to immediately revoke, not amend, Legislative Instrument 2462. Remember, organized labor has a letter from the predecessor suspending the LI 2462. Pending its revocation, LI stands as a legal doorway through which reckless mining activities are taking root in ecological sensitive areas. We urge your administration, Mr. President, to take decisive action to close this chapter and lead a new approach that prioritizes environmental protection and responsible land use. I'm saying, Mr. President, we in organized labor are surprised that 5 months into our reign, the Galamsey menace is getting worse. The destruction of our environments, including our forests and water bodies, is increasing with rapidity.
After my engine, organized labor for one in semi edo, and I'm in to fire Kogom Yankotana Zakakra, and the papaya one my woe with Fiahano, Ebene Gasto and Menso plus Mesha, whatever has in Panoye, Gasto Mesha or Homo, Ebiano with your stomach or your typhoid fever, or when is that you'll be a funum, diarrhea, indigestion, all the whole one. Mansion one and ask a cry, Ebene Gasto Mesha, Nebi diarrhea to Akuyeze among. The Maranso and the Menso plus Mesha so ho, and Messia for no, no, menstrual pains, menstrual disorder, yeast infection, vaginal discharges. Mama yen shouted the brie on yet. Jamie Kanaka, what they hey, Mamma Bian to one can, because of it to one can, well, JJG. The Maran so and a prostate plus mission so elbow, prostate plus mission on so that's all your name, prostate enlargement, frequent urinating, urine retention, or when they sank the baby show or kawaii always show. It's what we have it, eh? The mats war eligible day, ember virgin be ne and no nominal woman talk. Serpent no call an epidemic to Necotana, Jeff Eber woman kissing. We see farmers will Cape Coast, Reply Ventures, Vocation Drug Lane. Christ is the answer, WhatsApp sharp dim. From one it was 0248 778899 studio 0248778899.
Okay, then what me up on Facebook now one so what do I think so it means so at the abba. What do I'm so making I do also call a your Facebook Mr. More what one can move there to turn me grandma sire should class your cocoa rare weekends when everybody my sire should throw suggest I would want here a comment section or a sim. That's when I was happening to messages I would run just have a answer. The permanent kind in answer at the amount. Judge one so I'm from also the Attorney General and Minister for Justice. Dr. Dominic Kaini said in December could be served for 2 hours. I am no church and some of the one central MP Honorable Prime Asaria, the donor for a class. This same other kind of fun one. Open Dominic to say, oh, good moving. Now, I put a European Dominic Conning and chocolate command to the Muslim. Second, we have donation campaign one. Let's say, at a channel for Yet, and said 276 MPs and just saw me up on. We are just a more Dominic Santa Church a kind.
I am reliably informed that his basis of saying that I am corrupt and a thief is that I took campaign contribution from a businessman at East Legon known as Dr. Sledge, and that he also knows the people who donated pickups for my campaign. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if receiving donations for your campaign or getting a pickup for a campaign is thievery or corruption, then there are 276 thieves in Parliament, including the person who was making the allegation himself. But let him be warned that in my hometown of Zorno, we do not fear mud being thrown at us. On the contrary, we walk into the mud to deal with the person doing the mud slinging. And I am prepared to walk into the mud with A+. Because what I have about him and the National Service scandal, he should come and tell you, I'm challenging you. I am reliably informed that his basis of saying that I am corrupt and a thief is
where is someone Attorney General Dr. Dominic and you said the about 2 hours. No, Echo Eddie Ama A+.
The Maran so and now a sort of ponka, a sort of Assemblies of God, theological seminary, no, and now what day is she be abam. What's the NA modern laboratory complex, Papa Ben and Yamini P. 1 Madrasi War. Damra Obeya is school for no son on one name research move, or boy learning no, library or bomb a child over to Watson with Sian one over tomorrow, and also free or the Abba, or your Reverend Dr. Stephen, you know, some. As also the new other knowledge day. Penny Peter, Mammy and Chanda ban, or Baba Yopun to maybe when you're not born and a man to make your womb, and son ye make good use of it. Yankas also you to be a young year, na young from one you're not born your womb. That more by a baby able to know how could you say Amanian, or an actually and a Reverend Dr. Stephen, or the no means in the two, but Mama says, okay.
Theological Mission Seminary Comanche campus is our first, and it's the first theological institution, Pentecostal theological institution in Ghana. And so to add this major facility is a great relief and a great joy to enhance learning in this place. One of the key things we have to do is to put in place a maintenance policy. We in Africa want to wait till the thing crumbles down before we try to repair. But I think that the school should have a policy where they should have I'm sure they should have a maintenance officer who every day should be coming around and inspecting Because when you wait till the thing is dilapidated or the thing breaks, then you spend more in fixing it. In my local church, what we do is that we never do massive painting. Every month, as we see small dirt around, we keep painting and realize that it's far cheaper than going into the whole building. It's in a bad shape before you want to fix it. This is exclusively for the students of the school. I want to advise them to patronize it, because when you get on the field, sometimes it's difficult to learn. And you will agree that a lot of the things we are all hanging on to are the things we learned whilst in school. So I urge the students to patronize. They should make this place their second dormitory or hostel.
National one, so our anxiety, and Reverend Dr. Sylvan Nancy, or Cabri, now so one, so Wara, or Yaza, President of Assemblies of God Theological Seminary, no, or ya Reverend John Cobenham, on also the same visit to watch a day. It's so cool for no from a shower slamada, or Pomuchopi, Wakaya President, or the winning, or Pomuchow or a slum. There, the library, and Papa Wam dress with Munshani, Munzini, Munsies, no, that Mobile Makasa so much in the Murusiadia, Mongo box or Mowadam, Aquania Nodo. If you don't so or Saturday all students of no Wabam, Namos Webers on an alpha, now I walk on the Cranka Cradam Papa Washasi, that may be double to Nawa, Kanzi, Amoma, on a national and a Reverend John Covenant, or the no missing visit to Momayan Taser. Okay.
Superintendent said, has trained many renowned ministers in Ghana. In fact, our general and many of our officers. And these ones are there to help us. And so what I'm saying is that anytime we call on them to come in and help us, they should be willing to help us, because we are living in a dynamic world. The library, the things we were reading many years ago, these days we don't read those materials again. New books are coming, new writings are coming, and so every year as a school we make a budget and we buy new books so that the library will be current, for people to get current information to write their dissertations, current information to preach their sermons. And so that is very important to us. And so we are appealing to everybody, especially ministers of the gospel, and more especially Assemblies of God pastors and ministers. They should come in and help us. One way they can also help us is that you go to some ministers, their personal libraries. There are a lot of books they are not using them, and we need them to, so they need to donate those books. That one person donated.
PFF pharmacy to be now, which happens to be one that is what I can join me.